Hi, I'm Ashley Marie, and it is time for cake. Today, Batman vs. Superman comes out, and I have always been a superhero fan. So, in honor of the new movie, I made this Superman cake with a twist. Inside is Batman. Let's get started. First thing you want to do is bake 2 chocolate cakes. Now these are dark chocolate, plus I added black food dye to make these even darker. Now these are about 2.5 inches tall each. You might need to make a recipe and a half, and I always use 3-inch tall pans when I'm making tall cakes like this. Next up, you want to take the newest bat symbol and cut it out. Then we're going to fold it in half. Now, so that each slice of cake has the half bat symbol, so that as you cut it open, you'll see the full bat. This is actually our template, but think of it like a circle all the way around. So we're going to start on the bottom. I'm going to cut about 1/2 inch off the outside. Flip it back over. Now we're going to carve up the side to give us this side angle and then the point. Now that I'm happy with the angle of this top half of my cake, I'm actually going to put this on the bottom half of my cake so that I can keep that angle going down into the next level. Now we have the sides of our bat wings. I'm going to pull these layers apart again. Back to working on the top half, I'm going to mark with a large tip. You can use whatever large tip you have. And I'm just going to put this in the center to kind of help me mark where his head is going to be so I don't cut into it on accident. And now I'm going to start angling the tip of the wings. Now, because this is cake, we can't be too precise. If I make this too pointy, that cake's just going to get squished. So you're kind of just more creating the idea of it coming up. I'm going to use a grapefruit spoon to kind of help me cut in at an angle. So now you can see we have this nice ridge going on, and then we're going to take our knife and cut the center of our ears out. So now we have, again, a nice little ridge right in here. So when we cut this will be the top of the wings, and this will be the top of his ears. Now we're going to work on the bottom half of the cake. So while the top one had angles and ridges, this one is going to have a lot more weird detail to it. So this is going to be a lot more carving and a lot less cake. First thing I'm going to do is cut in right here and try to make this first little valley. We have our tail and our first ridge. Now we're going to make our ridge in between. Once you've cut in on the sides and the inside, you want to take your knife shallowly and cut around to kind of get your ridge. And it's a little bit messy, but we're going to clean that up now. Once you can see it, you can kind of clean up little spots here and there better, make those angles sharper. Now our bottom half is done as well. Now both our top and our bottom are carved. I've put them back into cake pans with parchment paper down below. And now we're gonna pour, make sure they're centered. Now we're gonna pour in the yellow cake batter. This is a butter cake batter that I just added a bunch of yellow dye to. Now technically with the new Batman and the new Spider-Man, it would be black and gray, but that would be really hard to see. So I'm going with the classic black and yellow. Make sure that your yellow batter completely covers any smudge of the black, because as we know with cakes, it's gonna bake and it's gonna dome, and we're gonna wanna cut some off. and we don't accidentally want to cut off our ears or the bottom of our bat. So make sure that it not just barely covers it, but really covers it. So, and then take it and drop it down to help get rid of any air bubbles. We want to make sure that batter's like all the way into the crevices. All right, and now bake as normal. It's time to make our Superman logo, so it has time to dry. So the new Superman logo is really dark, but since we went with the classic yellow and black inside the cake, I wanted to stick with slightly brighter tones, but I did mute them down a little bit. I added a little bit of chocolate fondant to both the red and the yellow to kind of mute it, but keep it warm and darken it up just a tad bit. So the first thing we're gonna do is roll out the red. Lay our template down and cut the outside edges. Now, taking a toothpick or something else sharp, we're gonna go into the logo and mark important sections. So mark all the corners and anything else that's important. Now I want to be able to transfer this logo. So I've rubbed some shortening onto it. Take a piece of paper and lightly, so you don't squish anything, lightly rub over, flip it. Now we're going to peel off the mat. Now I've rolled out some yellow and I'm ready to transfer my cut design onto the yellow. So what you want to do is you want to take some clear alcohol of some kind. Vodka works great if you feel uncomfortable using vodka. You can use clear vanilla or almond extract, which are basically vodka. I know I'll get asked this, don't use water. See, what the alcohol is going to do when you paint the back of it, the alcohol actually evaporates and eats away a little bit of the fondant, leaving a tacky surface. And that surface is going to adhere the fondant to the fondant beautifully. Water doesn't eat away at the fondant. It might make it wet and slightly tacky, but it's not going to have the same holding effect that some kind of clear alcohol is going to do. Peel the paper away and then clean up anything that you need to clean up. Sometimes it gets a little bit out of place. And now we're going to cut away the yellow. And finally, we're going to use one of our itty bitty small ball tools to make some indentations along with the swirls that's in the new Superman logo. Now our indentation is done. It's time to set this aside to dry. So our cakes are out of the oven. The first thing we need to do is even up the bottom. Some of the yellow batter, got around some of the chocolate cake. And then we need to trim off the top of both cakes. Now it's time to put it together. So take your cake stand and put a little bit of yellow ganache on there, and that is going to hold our cake in place. Make sure that you know which one is the bottom of your bat and which one is the top of your bat. It will be pretty silly if you cut this open and it's upside down. Now we don't want to use the yellow ganache to put the two black sides together, so we're going to take just a little bit of dark chocolate ganache and put that, just a thin layer. This is not going to be a heavy filling cake. We're just trying to glue it together. We want it to look as close to one piece as we can get it. So go right to the edge and now put the two halves together. And now it's time to frost the rest of the cake with your white chocolate yellow ganache. So I took some blue fondant and I added a little bit of brown to keep it warm, and black, and then a buttload of navy. And I got this dark bluish turquoise color, which is closer to what Superman's new logo suit is. One way to get really sharp edges with fondant is to flip your cake upside down so it has a nice flat surface underneath, and then using your fondant smoothers to go around the outer edge. And you're kind of pushing that fondant down into the corners. Once you're happy with that, just take your sharp knife and trim straight to the bottom of the cake. Put some fresh ganache on your cake stand. Center your cake stand over your cake. Slide and flip. And finally, take your logo and put it on the cake. And now it's time for the big reveal. Ready? I'm nervous. Here we go. Oh, it worked! I am so excited. You never know with cakes like this until you cut it open if it worked or not. So yay, I'm thrilled. It really wasn't that hard to do. The outside of the cake obviously was super simple to make, and then bam, you've got the inside. My boys are gonna love this. I cannot wait to show them. I hope you make this tutorial. I hope that you enjoyed this. Don't forget to leave me a comment down below if you make this. Let me know how it goes. Show me a picture, tag me in social media, share it all over the place. I would love to see your creations based on my tutorials. Also, leave me a comment letting me know if there's anything else you want to see a cake on. I want to create the tutorials that you want to see. Is there a movie coming out you want, or any other cake ideas that you have? Just let me know. All right, let's give this puppy a try. I was really nervous that the chocolate cake would be super dry after being baked twice, but it looks amazing. It looks nice and moist. Yeah, it still tastes great. I'm thrilled with this. Woo! Thanks for watching. Hey, baby boy, who's in the cake? Batman!